So in this video, I'm going to talk about valuing a zero growth stock. And so if you're valuing a stock that pays dividends but has zero growth, then really you could actually view this zero growth dividend valuation as actually being a special case of the constant growth dividend valuation. So for constant growth dividend valuation, we were looking at a stock that was paying a dividend that was growing at a constant rate of growth. Well, a zero growth stock basically has a constant rate of growth. It's just it's just a constant rate of growth of zero. So basically, it's still a constant growth dividend valuation scenario, but the growth rate is now zero. So to see what that turns into then, is basically I have down here the formula, and this is the formula that I had in the prior video that was showing how to value a constant growth stock. So I had D1, the dividend that I expect at the end of the next year, divided by RS minus G. Well, if I have a stock that has zero growth, G is zero. So RS minus zero is just RS. So I can just put RS in the denominator there. And also, if the dividend is not growing, then the dividend yesterday is the same as the dividend the next year, and the dividend the year after that, and the year after that. So I basically just dropped the subscript here because every dividend is the same as every other dividend because there's no growth. There's zero growth. So all I really need to do to find the value of a zero growth dividend stock is just take the dividend divided by the required rate of return. And that will give me my expected value or price, assuming the value and the price are the same. So that will give me the expected value or price of the stock, just dividends divided by the required rate of return. Now, if you take a step back at that and from that and look at it, what you should kind of see, or hopefully you'll see in a moment, is that looks an awful lot like a perpetuity. So for a perpetuity, to find the value of a perpetuity, you take the payment divided by the rate. Well, in this case, instead of calling it a payment, I'm calling it a dividend. And instead of calling it a rate or an interest rate, I'm calling it a required rate of return. But ultimately, we're doing the same calculation here. And so basically what we're looking at is a stock that is paying the same amount every single year for forever, which is a perpetuity. So basically, this is the same approach as a perpetuity, only I call the payment a dividend, and I'm calling the rate a required rate of return for the shareholders, but it's the same calculation. And the cool part is it's easy. You just do dividend divided by the required rate of return for a stock that has zero growth in the dividends, but it is paying a dividend, and basically this is kind of nice. And that's how you value a zero growth dividend stock, just the dividend divided by the required rate of return. Hopefully this helps. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.